All right, Knicks fans, let's talk about something that's honestly been eating at me for the last few days. Because if this rumor turns into reality, I don't know how I'm going to feel watching this team next season. We all know Mitchell Robinson is gone. That hole in the middle, that 7-foot presence off the bench that used to bail us out on the boards and protect the rim when Karl Anthony Towns needed a breather, that's just empty right now. And look, I get it. Roster building is roster building. You can't get emotional about business. But what's coming out of the rumor mill right now is making me sick to my stomach. Because the name being thrown around as trade bait to fill that spot is Miles McBride. Deuce. Our Deuce. Before I get into why this makes me want to throw my remote at the wall, let's talk about who they're actually chasing. His name is Yves Missi, 21 years old, currently stuck buried on the bench in New Orleans. And look, on paper, I get the appeal. The kid can rebound. He can protect the rim. He's got that same kind of vertical, alley-oop finishing pop that Mitchell Robinson brought to the table for years, before the Pelicans changed things up under their interim coach and started playing faster. This kid was putting up real Rookie of the Year caliber numbers. We're talking about 9 points, over 8 rebounds, more than a block a game in under 27 minutes. That's not nothing. That's a legit young big man who fell out of favor in a system that didn't fit him. So yeah, if you're purely looking at fit, a young athletic center who's cheap, who's still on his rookie deal all the way through the 2027 to 28 season, replacing an aging Mitchell Robinson who just walked out the door, I understand the front office logic. I do. But here's my problem, and I need you guys to hear me out on this, because this is where it stops making sense to me as a fan who's watched this roster get built piece by piece. Deuce McBride is not just some throw-in salary filler. This man has been with this organization for 5 seasons. 5. He came in as a project, a defensive-minded rookie who could barely buy a bucket, and he turned himself into one of the most reliable two-way guards in this entire league off the bench. Every single year, without fail, his game has gotten sharper. And this past season, even with a sports hernia limiting him to just 41 games, the guy put up the best numbers of his entire career. 12 points a game, 2.5 boards, 2.5 dimes, and 41% from 3. Let that sink in. 41% from deep as a combo guard coming off the bench, playing legit backup point guard minutes behind Jalen Brunson. This man is not a throw-in. This man is a rotation piece that half the league would love to have. And I get why the front office might see him as expendable right now, because let's be real, the backcourt is stacked. You got Brunson entrenched at the 1. You've got Landry Shamet. You've got Tyler Collett developing, and now you've thrown 2 rookies into the mix too. So on paper, yeah, Deuce's expiring contract makes him the most movable piece for a team trying to consolidate. But that's exactly what bugs me about how front offices operate sometimes. They look at a spreadsheet and see expiring contract, positional overlap, good trade value. And they don't see the guy who's been the heart and soul of that second unit. They don't see the guy who dove for loose balls in garbage time of blowout wins, who guarded the other team's best perimeter scorer when Brunson needed a rest, who the fans in the building chant for. Deuce earned his spot on this roster. He didn't luck into it. And here's the thing that really gets me. Trading him for a guy who was in his own coach's doghouse before the change in scheme, a young center who, sure, has flash potential, but is coming off a season where his role got slashed and his development stalled, that's a gamble. That's not a sure thing. Mitchell Robinson was a known commodity by the time he left. Missi is a total projection. We'd be giving up a proven, improving, beloved veteran presence for maybe. Now look, I know some of you are going to say, this is the NBA, it's a business, get over it. And sure, you're not wrong. Teams move on from beloved role players all the time in the name of team building. But that doesn't mean it doesn't sting. That doesn't mean we can't be frustrated watching a guy who bled for this franchise get shipped out because his salary happens to line up nicely on a trade chart. If I'm the front office, honestly, I'd be exploring every other avenue first. We already know Kevin Looney is out there on the open market and has been heavily linked to this team as a realistic, cheaper option to fill that backup center void without touching our beloved backcourt depth. Why not exhaust that route first? Why does McBride have to be the sacrificial lamb here? Let me know down in the comments, because I genuinely want to know where you all stand on this. Would you pull the trigger on Deuce McBride for Yves, Missi straight up? Or is this a line you refuse to cross for this roster? Drop your honest take below. I read every single comment on these videos, and I want to see this comment section go off today. And hey, if you're as invested in this team as I am, if this rumor got under your skin the same way it got under mine, do me a favor and smash that like button before you scroll away. It genuinely helps this channel more than you know, and it lets me know you want more breakdowns like this one. Now, let's talk about the timing of all this, because that's honestly what makes this feel so real, and not just some random internet rumor. Missi's name has reportedly been floating around trade circles for a while now, and there's already been reported interest from this front office dating back further than people realize. So this isn't some brand new development. This is a front office that's apparently been eyeing this kid for a bit, just waiting for the right moment to strike. And with Mitchell Robinson now officially gone and that center rotation looking thin behind Towns, that right moment might genuinely be right now, this offseason, before training camp even opens. Think about the calculus here from the Pelicans side, too. They've got a young center who's currently buried on their depth chart, not fitting the timeline or the style of play they want moving forward. A guy on a cheap rookie contract who still has real trade value around the league because of his physical tools and flashes of production. From their perspective, cashing him in now for a proven, cost-control veteran guard like McBride, who can come in and stabilize their backcourt immediately, that's a pretty clean value swap for a rebuilding situation. It makes sense for them. That's what worries me. When a trade makes too much sense for both sides on paper, it usually means it's more likely to actually happen. So where does that leave us as fans? Honestly, in a tough spot. We're staring down the barrel of losing not one, but potentially two familiar, likable pieces from this roster in the span of a single offseason. Mitchell Robinson's departure already hurt. Losing Deuce on top of that, a guy who fought through injuries, who's been drafted, developed, and grinded his way into being a legitimate top-tier backup guard in this entire league. That's a tough pill to swallow, even if the front office insists it's the right basketball move. I want this team to compete. I want them to have a real answer at backup center. I'm not sitting here saying don't make any moves. Stand pat, run it back with a hole in the middle. That's not realistic either. But there's a difference between improving your roster and trading away your identity. Deuce McBride, to a lot of us, has become part of this team's identity. That gritty, defensive, never back down energy off the bench, that's a Deuce specialty. Losing that for an improving young big man feels like it changes the character of this roster, not just the depth chart. So again, I want to hear from you. Type it out in the comments. Are you okay watching Deuce walk out that door if it means finally filling that void at backup center? Or is this front office about to make a massive mistake by breaking up a locker room and rotation piece that genuinely works? I'll be reading through the comments after this goes up, so don't hold back. And before you go, seriously, hit that like button, drop a comment with your honest reaction. And if you haven't already, get subscribed so you don't miss it the second this trade either gets confirmed or shot down. Whichever way this goes, we're going to be right here breaking it down together. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.